Normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk, but no flowers grow. Vincent van Gogh. In this video, we will explore the indispensable benefits of individuation, along with some of the dangers and how it is key to being successful in the future of our society. As stated in the Process of Individuation video, to individuate is to divest the self of false wrappings, which leaves the self with only the authentic aspects. Now, I would like to make the argument that this authentic self is crucial for success in an age of distraction and overconsumption, as it gives one the strong foundations necessary and the intrinsic motivation necessary to go against the grain so that you may live a life more in accordance with your naturally ingrained desires. So, to begin, it's worth noting that isolation is a key component of the individuation process. While it is common in Western culture to view isolation with a certain stigma attached, from my experience, if used for productive purposes, one can find that isolation is full of potential. Jung had similar thoughts about isolation, as he regarded it as the highest and most decisive experience of all, because it is only in isolation that one can discover one's inner supports and further come to know the indestructible foundation of one's being, as stated by Jung. But it is also important to note that nothing worth attaining in life comes without its hazards. Such isolation does not come without dangers because human beings are social by nature. Therefore, one must proceed with caution when individuating, because as German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "It is what one takes into solitude that grows there, the beast within included." That said, we should not regard individuation as being detrimental to the culture that the individual isolates himself from in the long run. As psychologist Robert Johnson points out in his book Inner Work, once we feel more secure as individuals, more complete within ourselves, it is natural also to seek the myriad ways in which we resemble our fellow human beings, the essential human qualities that bind us together in the human tribe. So, in this way, the individual actually contributes to the society he lives in far more if he is permitted to individuate. Therefore, in my view, those who wish to individuate should be allowed to, for the flourishing of both the individual and the larger society he is a part of. One can therefore view individuation as a heroic journey of fighting the inner demons of one's psyche, and so solitude is not for the faint of heart, but is a vital first step for those few individuals willing and able to integrate such a beast within. In today's society, it is not uncommon for those who isolate themselves to be frowned upon as though they are untrustworthy and not contributing to the common good. However, I will put forth the idea that for those select few, this judgment is unfounded if one uses solitude wisely. It's worth noting that it's not enough to merely isolate oneself. One must go to work through means of practices like meditation or yoga, learning about the depth of the psyche through psychoanalysis, and contemplating on past experiences and dreams. To get a better understanding of the mechanism by which solitude is beneficial, let's draw on another quote from Nietzsche. "The most general picture of our essence is an association of drives, with constant rivalry and particular alliances with each other." And so, I will put forth the claim that the ultimate goal of solitude is to harmonise these initially conflicting desires, over time, into a unified directed whole. The direction of these harmonised desires is to be aligned with the authentic self of the person. This unified direction attained from solitude is key to getting what you ultimately desire from life. If successful, one will emerge back to society with an equanimity and renewed sense of purpose that is very rare in our workaholic culture. Finding this authentic self and aligning yourself with it is key to finding one's passion in life, because as Goethe said, one can be instructed in society, one is only inspired in solitude. Also, it's only by being alone that one may be able to find the prolonged focus necessary to work on their passion to a sufficiently deep level in order to turn their inspired passion into a vocation. This point is echoed by Pablo Picasso when he said, "Without great solitude, no serious work is possible." Conversely, if one does not spend time alone in order to individuate, one runs the risk of one's personality becoming a mere reflex of those around them, and so they have no real values and purpose to ground them in their lives. This effect is only exacerbated in this information age, in which distraction scatters our attention in conflicting directions on a daily basis. This is ultimately the path of mediocrity, and a life lived through others' corrupting agendas. It is ultimately up to you which path you feel is right for you, but it is important to mention there is no way through life that isn't full of some kind of potential danger. To conclude, if one wishes to live a life true to themselves and strive for some higher ideal which they feel truly passionate about, it is necessary for a temporary withdrawal from the busy lives that most of us live. But as we have seen, such a withdrawal should not be taken lightly. Jung has a lovely quote that I'd like to end this topic with. The fact that a man who goes his own way ends in ruin means nothing. He must obey his own law, as if it were a daemon whispering to him of new and wonderful paths. There are not a few who are called awake by the summons of the voice, whereupon they are at once set apart from the others, feeling themselves confronted with a problem about which the others know nothing. In most cases, it is impossible to explain to the others what has happened, for any understanding is walled off by impenetrable prejudices. You are no different from anybody else, they will chorus, or there is no such thing. And even if there is such a thing, it is immediately branded as morbid. He is once set apart and isolated, as he has been resolved to obey the law that commands him from within. His own law, everybody will cry. But he knows better. It is the law. The only meaningful life is a life that strives for the individual realization, absolute and unconditional, of his own particular law. To the extent that a man is untrue to the law of his being, he has failed to realize his own life's meaning. Thanks for watching.